Hooray. I made some El Cheapo powdered raspberry drink. It's not very good. But it was cheap. Why did I hit start? I know it's not start. I still hit start. Also, I should update the game. I wanted to go to name entry, and I know it's why, but I always hit the wrong button. One character means things happen quicker on the screen. So, okay, let's do this. Now, there are differences between the version that you maybe watched earlier and this version. They are as follows. There's a hell of a lot more dialogue, and they actually have pictures next to the people saying them. Which means that if somebody happens to be saying something going on, you know who it is. If, like, it's a specific bad guy, you know what's being said right then. I never managed to get both of those drops. Oh, great. Let me do that. Do exactly that. Great start for my very first splits of this game ever. Now, it still has the same trick as the Super Nintendo version. You get to the boss and you kill only the boss and nothing else. And that gives you the super weapon at the start of the next stage. That doesn't change. What does change is, as you can see, people keep talking. There's dialogue going on throughout the entirety of this stage. There's also frequently no cuts to stop and talk to you about things. Whereas on the Super Nintendo, they would be saying, oh no, do this, and it would literally stop so that you could read the dialogue and then keep going. Here, it just kind of keeps going, because of course it does. Also, the transitions are faster between stages, like that. All these are going to be gold because they just are. See, like, we're already done with the stage. Because it doesn't need to say your character's name and then what they're saying. It's just, here's his portrait, you know who's talking, off we go. The funny thing is, having said all that, there's a lot of things that will just be faster in this run, and it is still slower than the American reason. There is one reason for that, and one reason alone. In the final stage, there's actually more plot going on in this game, they just don't tell you about it. You know, the basic plot is war, but in space. Woo! But it's actually warring factions of humanity, and they're fighting it out on Earth. And the last stage, it's not Last Stand, which is what they tell you the name of the stage is. You're making an assault on the enemy capital. And that Senate room that you get to and you fight another rival bad guy who is flying around in a ship kind of like this, and you gotta beat him up. That's the same guy that is piloting the big ship in, at the end of the next stage. That's the same guy who is in the big ship at the very end of the game. He's the same guy that kills one of your buddies in stage 4. So he's a recurring bad guy. And you wouldn't know that because they never show you the dude's picture. Even funnier, the guy that you go out of your way to save in the 4th stage, you know, oh no, he's gonna die. We need to help him out by throwing him onto our ship so he doesn't die. Because that's a brilliant decision. That guy is the guy that you fight at the end of, not the end of the last stage, the big welder robot. So that guy out of nowhere is like, ah, thanks for saving me, die! No, no. What's wrong with you? But the big reason this is slower than the English version is in the Capitol building, where you fight the mini-boss who's in a ship like this and he's flying around and trying to blow stuff up, namely you. That guy, right? After blowing him up, oops, on the wrong gun. After blowing that guy up, your character does something different, and I'll narrate it when we get to it so you'll understand what's going on. But it is a sequence that they completely removed from the American version, and you'll see why very shortly. Well, not very shortly, but you'll see why they removed it. Because apparently we Americans would have had too delicate sensibilities to be able to tolerate what it is that happens. So there's that. Aw, man. And then you jump? What are you doing? I had a good start, and then I just kind of blew it. Yeah, like a lot of these cutscenes where the game would stop and say, hey, this is going on. Now it's like, no, just keep going. We're not going to, like, stop a war so that we can yap at you. That's not a thing. We don't stop a war in the middle of a war to talk to you. In fact, that's what's called a liability. What do you mean you have to pause time to be able to talk? No, I'm going to shoot you in the face. Face shot! Although there are still some sections where the game stops at you. And I always intentionally skip the cutscene where you're introduced to the bad guy here, but this time you actually get to see his face when he's talking to you, and I still don't like him, so there he is. Annoying evil blonde dude. Nobody likes him. He sucks as a person. And then the game doesn't actually pause right there, as it does on the American release, because why would it? It's kind of annoying that it would. Thanks for the damage boost, I'll take it. Ow. I honestly think this guy's slightly more aggressive on the Japanese version. I don't have any reason to actually believe that's a thing, but it always seems like I'm way closer to dying in this stage than normal, and I think it's just because he is more vicious, more wanting to murder me as a person. I don't know. I also feel like the camera's not quite pointed at me. Hey. So now, since I did not get the upgrade to my napalm, I have to be killing these guys and using it to upgrade my Valken cannon, so that on the last stage, I can use that to plow through all of the initial areas much quicker. It makes the last stage easier. That's pretty much it. No, come here. Come here. Can I get to it? I got it. Alright, I have one more. And that's it. We're good. I have no need to collect any more special weapons. I'm fine here. So, the chubby one, he's the one that did not successfully deploy his parachute because, I don't know, reasons. And because that guy is obviously very, very good at piloting big robots, they put him in an even bigger one with a welding laser and have him barreling down a hallway at you. Which is actually surprisingly effective. I guess just give him a really big robot and that guy gets better. So what they should have done is put him in the final boss and you'd probably never beat him, right? I mean, here, he's an idiot. And that big robot, he's actually pretty good and has ended some of my runs. And if he'd been in the final boss, I probably would just die. So anyways, oh no, there's that shuttle in the background of bad guys that are coming to rescue their buddy. And they're sending off pilots, so we send off our pilots. And what do? They run into Blondie again, and Blondie immediately nukes one of our guys, because of course he does. Oh no, he's dead! I don't remember his actual name. In the American version, they call him Apollo. I'm not entirely sure why, they just do. Because apparently it's showtime at the Apollo. I still don't actually remember if these are good splits or not. You know what I should have done is I should have played Target Earth instead, because this game is a sequel to Target Earth. So I should have played that and then immediately gone into, you know, its sequel. See, this is what's so different between this and the American version. There's actual them explaining to you what you're doing in this stage at the start of the stage, and then there's a constant dialogue. There's a translation of the Japanese version that has all the dialogue still in it, and you get to see guys constantly talking. I'm clearing out this area, I took out these guys, here's what's coming up here, do this, don't, oh no, whatever. That's actually in the game, but they removed it from the US version. Still don't actually know why, they just kinda did. Alright, I don't need to worry about collecting this. Oh, and he also taunts this boss when he kills it on this version. See, which, yay, just something along the lines of, get out of here, you big, stupid juggernaut. I don't know, something, whatever. I don't remember what he says. It's something silly and stupid. Who cares, right? Anyways. So, Neo, how are you doing, brother? Because all I'm doing over here is just kind of yapping incessantly, and I realize that's probably getting old and annoying and boring and whatever, but, you know. How are you doing, Chief? You doing good? You fine? And all that jazz? Right? Yes? No? Yes? That's correct. Let's see if I can not die on this boss. I jumped way too soon. There it is. Fine. I'm also reasonably certain that this boss, the turret on the ship, can still hit me. Oh, no, he can't. Never mind. I thought he could, but apparently he can't, so there's that. If you position yourself correctly, the turrets on the ship they can't shoot you. They can try to shoot at you, but they wind up completely missing. And we're all fine with this, right? Boss is done. Moving on. We've got to win this war for whatever his name was. You're right! Rex? Jeff? Steve? Big Pimpin'? Whatever the hell that guy's name is. I can't. Anyways. This is my favorite part of the game. Alright, so we need to sneak into the space without getting caught. And you're a character, I got caught. Just immediately. Just, no screwing around. I blew it. Here come the bad guys. They saw me. Don't be seen. I've been seen. Dude, but could you at least, like, take a breath? That was a fairly solid start without bouncing napalm. I'm fine with this decision. Alright. Alright. So, what are we doing? Oh, right. He actually stops and complains about that boss. Because that's a thing. Oh no, there's a thing. It's angry. I don't. Just go with it. Right? Ow. Oh man. Normally I have the timing for catching these Metroids. I know they're not Metroids, but they look like Metroids, and they suck. So I call them Metroids. Because why not? 2, 3, 4, jump. It's all in the timing, kids. I did not manage to despawn that mine. That sucks. Ow. Oh no, it's evil cannons. So anyways. So having said all that, here's Wonderwall. Oh no, he's doing the thing already! Which, as you can see, just thoroughly kicks my ass! He's going underground, too. This is crap. Come back here, so I might kill you. I could just ignore him, that way he can't drive me into the anti-tank shots. But I'm more of a fan of, nuking him first and then killing the cannons, because you actually skip the optional dialogue. That optional dialogue takes like a couple seconds longer. On the English version, the game will actually, again, stop and have a conversation with you. Like, I don't care. Just, So here's the part where I actually use that napalm, and like I said, the part that they cut out of the US release is a common. Like, the entire time, your character's like, oh, okay, this is essentially a suicide mission. We're dropping into their capital, we're gonna go take out everybody, because that's the illustrious plan. And halfway there, your communication stops. So the entire time, your character is going, hello? Anybody? I'm here. Whatever. I'm finishing the mission. I don't care anymore. And then what happens next? We'll shock you. Click here to find out what. I hate clickbait, so I'm not going to go that route. I took one hit too many, which means I have to take, like, one hit right from that guy, like that, and that makes it perfect. Because now I immediately roll onto this screen and die, and that allows me to start right there at the cost of, I think it's 6 to 8 seconds. What's up, Colonel? Haven't seen you in a long time, brother. It's good to see you, though. I apologize for not streaming much. It's a long story. I've already gone over it once, so I don't feel like going over it again. Sorry. It's nothing personal. But I had, like, personal plans that just never wanted to come to fruition and whatever, so I just said, hell with it, I'm streaming stuff. So, alright. So anyways, here's the mini-boss, which as you can see is that annoying... Oh, no, yeah, there's the blonde guy. There was also the president who's talking to me. The president of the opposition. Well, of course you've been spotted. Because I saw you. Alright, so here's what happens here. Come on. You land, and through the ceiling. Because we've decided we're going to find the president. And here's the president. Hey, buddy. You need to give up. Oh, that's exactly what I've done. Wait, what are you talking about? I mean, I've given up. And here we go. No, no, don't do that. Gun. My God. Wah! And then he hears, we need help. What's going on here? So your character loses his shit and just starts tearing through things. Which is why now, out of nowhere, he is in a random location where they were asking for help. And he's just lost his gourd. He's like, okay, even the president gave up and just blew his brains out. You're all nuts! I'm nuking every last one of you! Which is, I suppose, a perfectly sane thing to do. It'd be like, haha, I caught you, Saddam Hussein. No, you didn't. What? What? No! So, yeah. And then also, again, you remember that fat, annoying guy? That guy? They put him in a big welder robot. They put him in Wall-E, but with, you know, Cyclops beams. Because that's fair. And you can only hit him, I think, you can only do like 8 shots worth of damage to him prior to the stage stopping its auto-scrolling. So I've got the shots in. Then you have to wait for the stage to completely finish scrolling. And then you can shoot him and he's dead. Okay, it's 7, my bad. Alright, so let's go kill the last guy, who is once again the blonde guy. Because of course it is. It's like, what are you doing? I've got an even bigger robot. Well, you're an idiot. Yeah, well, your mom. Nobody likes you. Yeah, well, your mom. Would you stop? And the answer is no, he won't. There's actually a lot of other parts, not a lot, but there are quite a few other spots to this boss that you can go out of your way to try and blow up, but I don't like doing that because, I don't know, suck as a person. Technically speaking, Japanese timing doesn't end until the end, but I'm ending it there, right? So, 1732. Which actually is faster than the Super Nintendo, isn't it? Okay, so I take it back. The Japanese version is faster. I don't remember by how much, though. Okay, let's find out. 1732... versus 1739. And that wasn't a great run. Okay, Japanese is faster even with the extra cutscene. Good to know. I should probably be doing that more often. Anyways, that is, because I don't know of anyone else doing any ever, that is officially the Japanese Assault Suits Valken world record. The ending here is no different than the Super Nintendo. So, there's that. I'm up to speed on both versions of Cybernator.